where we're thinking of looking at where we're looking at relationships as potentially as some sort of or at least dating as some sort of monopolistic competition. We're like, well, are there factors that each sex can use in this monopolistic competition to advertise? Well, conveniently, some of this stuff actually mirrors the changes that happened in mate acquisition in the 1900s America. To give an example of some of this, this would be one that your grandparents would be involved in, or perhaps even your great-grandparents would be involved in. There was a dating system called the rating dating system. This was true. It is like, and what's interesting is that prior to World War II, dating was actually a popularity contest. Like, it was actually deliberately, explicitly seen as popularity. And so their whole function of dating was date as many people as you can. That's what you want to do. You want to date as many people as you can. And your status depended on the number of dates you had. Huh. So remember last time, I think you argued that the purpose of dating was to find future partner, etc., etc. They're doing completely...
And then, like, nowadays, if you date so many people, I guess you won't, people would see you in a very wrong manner. Like, if I date so many guys, it won't be, like, a good thing, a status or something.
Why not? So if you went on a bunch of first dates, your peers would...
They would just tell me, why don't you settle down with one?
I don't know. I would think that there's nothing wrong with dating, because actually what happens at the end of the day matters. So, if you're doing a lot of that,
you're doing a lot of these.
I was being surprised by it.
I have a lot of friends who are Mormon actually, and they went to BYU, and they sort of almost do this thing. They just go out on tons of first dates, and I don't know if they see it more as like a status thing, but I'm sure that guys want to go out with girls more who actually have a lot of dates because they probably feel like, oh, I might enjoy going out with her, since a lot of people, other people seem to enjoy going out with her or something. But I know that I'll text my friend and be like, oh, so what do you do? Oh yeah, I just went out on like 7 dates this weekend. I'm like, what does happen? Like, what do you do? But they go out on tons of dates.
There's some term in Mormonism. It's not dating. It's not hooking up.
Courting?
There's some word.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about.
Because when I heard it, I was like, that seems...
My dad makes fun of all my friends that are Mormon all the time for that.
Like, I don't make fun of it as much as it's like, it's sort of like, that's an interesting way around some social issues.
It's called like, something about making out without commitment or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's the word. I can't think of the word of it though.
What are you talking about?
No, they would just, there's a word, they go, like, we are, you know, and
Preemptive strike.
preemptive strike, that's not, that is not the word that is used for this. Oh, I have to look this up. If you can ask your Mormon friends, that would be faster.
I can text it right now if I can have it.
You know what?
Can we Google it?
Can we Google it? You know what? This is part of me, you know what? All right, so you're having this issue here. So one of the greatest fears, in fact, if you read through Bailey's Front Porch Backseat book, one of the greatest fears for a woman in this society would be to go to a dance and dance with the same guy all night. I know, that strikes us as odd, right? But it was really weird that males, so imagine, y'all two are going to go to a dance together, try not to hit each other in the midst of the dance, especially you, try not to hit him, right? I know who's the abuser, right? So, your biggest fear during this dating period was having to dance with him the whole night, and his biggest fear was that too, so he might actually pay guys to dance with you so that you appear to be popular, because the whole thing was about appearing popular.
Wait, so it was both for the males and the female?
Yeah, like you wanted to date a popular female, and she obviously wants to be a popular female. You want to be seen with her. Women were encouraged to date many men, be seen with the right men, but then, to answer your question about what happens after the date, they were encouraged to be hard to get.
Men would be encouraged to
No,
women?
women. I don't know of any time men have been encouraged. Well, there are a couple of times that men... You think men are always hard to
No,
get?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Pretending to be.
Yeah.
Just
we're-
don't pretend. Yeah.
All right. You got everyone else in the class too. All right. So women were encouraged to appear popular, and being popular was. So let's get back to this question. What is the function of dating?
Dating to find the right mate.
That's what you see as.
In this time period?
So
or-
yeah, this time, or we can sort of ask this more generally, because like one of the things that intrigues me, I teach human sexuality, and so as part of that class, there's a lot of hand wringing about current college dating. Y'all are destroying American society. Seriously, the books are like y'all are just ruining our culture. And I look at this and go, let's pull back a second. What is the function of dating? Why are we doing this particular phenomenon? But so, to give you more pieces of data in this regard, we can keep going forward in time and look at another variable that started playing a role. That World War II happens. Servicemen go off to fight in the war. There are no guys. And so this feature of no guys made females go, I better take someone and settle down.
Is this like the quantity versus quality shift?
Yes, so now you're getting this quality issue. But remember, this is the, I mean, ask your parents or grandparents, more your grandparents, to be honest with y'all. But you had pinning. You know what pinning is? It's still something that happens in sororities and fraternities. Well, I'm not, y'all would be like, what is it? What's pinning?
It's like when they take a pin and they give it to you and they're like, hey, this means that you can't see any other guys and I can't see any other girls. It's weird. And
There's a word for it, though. It's not called pinned, right? It's called. No, there's. I thought it is. It's called. I thought it was called like, I have corvage or something. Do you know the word? You're also shaking your head.
We call it pinning.
Just called pin. Okay, well, pinning is fine. I thought it was called something else, like we are now pledged or whatever. So pinning, this is where this idea originates. It's like the guy's going off to war, but the woman can say, no, I have a guy. He's just not here. So it shifted to going steady. And in fact, at this time, you start getting this where we're moving closer now to trial marriages, which is really our system right now, right? Like trial, like.
Like not married officially, but just living together.
But that's sort of, your notion is really of dating is moving in this direction, right? So let's think about this. Okay, so I'm single and I would like to find you. I'm going to find a mate in your thing, and so one way to approach this problem of me finding a mate is to date lots of people, right? And whoever stays in my colander, right? Because everyone else is going to fall through because they, their traits or whatever aren't going to mesh with mine. So and then I sort of filter people out. Another thing to do is I date you. Okay, oh, it's been a good 6 months. It's not you, it's me. Now I date you. It's not you, it's me. Now I date you. Just trying a little, who knows where it's going to go. Maybe that's been the problem. Oh, it's not you, it's me. And we run down the line. But if you start thinking about it, there's pros and cons to that strategy. But it does move us to where we are now committed to one another, and we may start interweaving. I'm having a word problem with it. Interweaving our finances, interweaving our friendship groups, and that's what they're meaning by this trial marriage. And then it reaches a culmination where, now we're actually going to live together, so now our abodes are interwoven, though we're not married.
So potentially you could be stuck with someone while doing this without wanting to be.
Yes. And many people get that way because it's because we're dating, but now all this stuff is interwoven. We have a lot of friends in common, so if we break up, it's going to be your friends in awkward positions and so forth. But if you think about it, this is our strategy. We are called a serial monogamous culture, where it's like, I'm monogamous with you, now I'm monogamous with you, now I'm monogamous with you, now I'm monogamous with you. That's what we do. And so Bailey has some choice words on this context. This is again a quote from Bailey because she's trying to get people to think about these issues. She writes, "There are certainly lots of problems with a system that puts 12-year-old girls in padded bras." That's our culture, right? That's what we do now. Didn't Victoria's Secret recently get some flack?
Yeah, because they're coming out with a new line called Love, and it's like a whole bunch of like lace bras and padded bras and underwears for like tweens. They
Yeah.
did it.
Tweens like 9 to 12. Yeah, so you start thinking, okay, why, that's very strange to say to a 9-year-old girl, you know, start dating. You know, one guy. Although what I'm told, the new thing is to go out as groups and then y'all pair off at the end. I feel like an anthropologist. Like, you know, I am told that your culture. That's what I feel like. I feel like an old man who's like an anthropologist who goes, "Well, I hear the y'all are doing these days." So, but is that the case? That would y'all say y'all go more on dates where someone asks someone out and y'all go, or you group of friends are together in an evening and in the evening people pair off?
I don't even
At a young age, it's the group.
At a young age, it's the
Yeah,
group.
yeah, I think it's usually groups.
So, but in college, you think
It's
it's
more one-on-one.
does it start one-on-one? Does it start one-on-one, or does it start groups, pair off, then one-on-one?
Well,
What
it
do you
starts
mean
with
by
like,
pair off? Do you mean like you're like hanging out over a period of time and then you pick someone out of that group, or do you
Yeah, so
like
we all,
within
we
one night
all
you
go
go
to
pair
we all
off?
go to pizza night, right? We're all gonna go to pizza, and in the course of the evening, like there's lots of conversations. And then you pair off with someone, and then y'all talk that evening, and then you pair off with someone, and you pair off, and
I don't
but
think that happens.
No, never experienced it.
Yeah, never.
y'all need to stop lying to researchers. That's really.
So, I think what that happens more like we go out as groups, and then
Like
like
she's saying, as like middle school.
I didn't even do that. So, but it's usually like you go out as like groups, and then like yeah, and as a couple times, then there's like one person you're infatuated with, and then you start talking outside of this group, and then you go out.
Yeah, that's
Like,
like,
yeah.
So that would be more. All right. So that's nice to know. 'Cause the way the literature reads is like y'all are basically. There are words for it. So this is okay. So Bailey wants to critique this, but she also wants to critique this. She's like, there are at least as many problems with a system that privileges quantity over quality, that fosters a belief that a man can come to understand women by dating 56 women and different girls in 9 months, that prepares the youth for a lifetime of monogamous marriage by stressing promiscuous popularity. This gets back to my question. What is the function of dating? I might go mating. So is the purpose of me dating, or are you dating to find your future spouse?
No, not socially.
Do y'all date? Oh, that's sad. But now, Byron has become popular. Last class was like, hey, Byron, because I mention him all the time. So now everyone across the world is going to know you're not dating anyone. Maybe,
Thank you.
maybe this class will be helpful for you. Yeah. Do you have anything against people from New Zealand? I'm just curious.
This is kind of confusing to me which I grew up in like a really small private school, so no experiences were a little different for us, but it was more of like no one really like dated, like you didn't get asked out on dates. It was like the group situation where like you hung out with the same people so much, and then like almost straight from that you got in a relationship. Like you didn't like go on individual dates, like no one said, will you go on a date with me, and then you date this one person. It was almost like you're just used to hanging out with this person, you really like this person, and you hang out, and then you like get in a relationship. And then like when I got older, like in college, then it was more of you called it a date, but it's more of like you call it talking or like hanging out. Like I never actually said I'm dating when I was like in high school.
So
So it's like throwing me off a little bit about what is a date, like what are we calling a date?